Hey y'all, I'm going to do a video now on variations. I had a few people ask me about some of the changes that I do when I play the tunes at full tempo with the ornaments, and I don't know if I've ever really kind of broken that down too much, the ways to kind of mix it up as you're playing it. The tune I'm going to use for it is one called the Earl's Chair. It's a great standard session tune, probably my favorite of the real standard kind of beginner type tunes. It's just a fun tune, and it's one that pops up at a lot of sessions because it hasn't gotten worn out, and everybody still likes playing it. And there's a lot you can do with it, which is why I think it'll work pretty well for this type of a video. So I'm going to play it all the way through, a couple of times through here, so you can hear some of the things that I do differently as I go through the tune more than once. So keep an ear out for that, and then I'll kind of go back and break it down, just the basic melody, and then the ornaments, and then some of the variations as well. So here we go. So that's how I like to play it, because I'm kind of demonstrating the variations. I go a little bit off the reservation on that one. I probably wouldn't necessarily do all that stuff at a session, but just to give you a couple of ideas anyway. I'm going to run the basic melody real quick, because the point of this is really more the variations, but just so you'll have it here. So here's the A part. So that's the whole A part. I'll do that once more because you would play it back to back. A, B, B. All right, so the B part starts in the second octave. And that's got kind of a cool little rhythmic thing that I'll get into in a second. I'll do that again the second time through. So that's the whole basic melody. I'll do the ornaments fairly quickly as well, and then get on to the variations, since that's kind of the point there. You've heard, at least in the B part, I'm sure you heard a lot of the places where you can put in the rolls. Because you're sitting on that E and the D. A couple of things you can do right there. So a couple of short rolls. So then on the A part, I think you kind of have a bit more room. So right off the bat, you're sitting on that B. I like to use the B flat key. So if you have that, that works. Otherwise, a slide. Good roll on that one. That little, I don't know if there's really a good name for that. I guess kind of, when I hit that bottom D, what I'm actually doing is just as I hit that note, I kind of pop this finger off. So it just kind of gives it a little bit of an ornament, a little bit of a bounce to it, kind of like a bubbling kind of sound, which I think sounds kind of cool on that low D. And you can do it on the top D as well. So a couple of things there that you can work in. The main point of this video, like I said, was the variations. So the basic melody, like we kind of ran through in the A part, so it's fairly repetitive. You know, and it sounds great, but there's a couple of things you can do with it, particularly on the flute, because you've got that breath control you can do. You can really hit that low D and kind of just make that note bounce. The other thing that I like to do on that one is that F natural. And you kind of combine that with the breath. So in that one, you kind of do have to have the key. I suppose you could half hold that, but it would probably be a little inaccurate, I would say, in most cases. But if you have that key, or if you have the long F key, I just kind of use this one because it just seems to fit well as you can kind of bounce off that. So that's kind of one of the things that I like to do with that. The B part, that again is fairly repetitive. So you can repeat the line there using the kind of hard bounce. And again, using that little finger bounce thing there on the D. But because it's fairly repetitive, I like to just kind of mix it up between using quarter notes, I suppose it would be, versus eighth notes. So one time through I might play it more simple, one time I might kind of mix it up a little bit. So that's kind of what I like to do with that tune anyway. Now, on the other kind of cool trick you can do that I like to do as a flute player is jump the octave. So that's kind of the basic melody. Now, it's kind of this halfway through it, I guess. So you can kind of just throw in, you're jumping all the way up to the second octave G as a part of the melody, but you kind of throw that higher B in there just to kind of mix it up a little bit. So hopefully that'll give you at least a few ideas, things you can mess around with on that tune, because that's one that'll definitely come up at most sessions. It's just a great standard that everybody likes playing. At least around here and most places I end up, it's just a cool tune. So hope you like that. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.